Let's talk tension. Now, I'm going to give you some ideas of what to do if things don't look good on your fabrics. But throughout all the videos, if we have anything that I can point out regarding tension, I will include it. So do just kind of note that there's a lot more to tension than just what we're going to talk about in this one video. So I just turned on the serger and I was just getting started for our first video today. And when I sewed it, it looked like this. Now, on the back side, so first off, on the front side, things should look fairly normal. It's on the back side that's really going to show what is going to be wrong or if it looks good. So what I actually always look for is that this line back here, this is straight. This is the blue thread, so that's our lower looper. And there's these little tick marks. Each of those tick marks represent the back side of the straight stitches, the ones with your needles. So I've got an orange and a yellow in my left and right needle, and orange and a red, excuse me. And so on the back, I have the red and orange dots. That's truly what you're looking for. But what I really want to see is that line to be perfectly straight. Also, I want my loopers to be meeting near this edge. So that's what you're looking for good tension. So I turned it on, we sewed a little bit, and there was not a straight line back here. And these needle threads were loops. That means that when I open this up, we're going to see big open stitches. So definitely not what we want to sew or we need to fix. So all I did, I'm like, well, what's wrong here? And I opened up the front door of the serger and I had missed one guide right here. Down here, there's two places where the blue is. There is a reason all these guides are here. They need to be threaded. It's not just an optional idea. So whether I missed it or it got slipped out, so all I had to do was flip it under one extra guide, sew again, and voila, perfect tension right to the edge. And that's for the 4-thread overlock. So sometimes when we're working, well, we don't always have the same weight of thread. Maybe you're mixing and matching your threads because you want to kind of get maybe 4 colors that are pink and you don't have 4 pink colors. Maybe you have one in one brand and one in another, and then you have one from your embroidery collection, which you can use. And so these threads are all different weights. So what we can do with tension is actually do some adjustment. So first off, even internally, these are all different, you might say, settings. Needle tensions are always tight, so I don't always crank these up a lot. I tend to work with my loopers first, double check the threading. That's usually the problem. So, but if you need to do a little tweaking because of the thicker thinness of the threads you're combining together, you can use the plus. Now watch what happens when we come up here. You're going to get a screen, and depending on what stitch you're on, we're on the 4-thread overlock, so it's telling me what each of the stitch tensions are for all 4 threads. So as I touch it, it will highlight, and by highlighting that number and plussing it, it is increasing it or making it tighter. If I go minus, I can bring it down. So notice how small the increments change. They change in a 0.1 amount, okay? So that means that if you want to actually make a change, I would take it from like 1.3 to 2.3. Give it a good change. One little touch of this is not going to change it a lot, but it's nice to be able to have that so fine-tuning ability, because there's times where I've gone, oh, I'm so close, I just need one more touch, and it will just, oh, it makes it so perfect. So keep that in mind. We can increase or decrease. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and tighten up. I'm going to just tighten up I'm going to take this one back to where it was. Oh, you know what? Since I don't know where it was, easiest way to do is go ahead and touch OK. Go 1 stitch forward, 1 stitch back quickly. Let the little pop-up screen come up, touch OK. And then when we go to our tensions, everybody clears out. Now, remember, once you get those tensions set for maybe a specific fabric or technique, you can always save it into your favorites and then have those tensions remember. Once you leave the stitch, it clears it out. So that's why I cleared it out real quick. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to tighten my upper looper really quick. And I'm going to go up to, let's go up to 4-ish. I'm going to run one through, and let's just see if we see any mate. I'm going to just do the short end here, just so it's a quick one. Okay, so what we're seeing, there's really nothing too wrong with the stitch. I flip it over, look at the back, I still see that nice straight stitch along the bottom edge. But what's happening is my blue thread, that's the, is coming to the top. My green thread, which is what I tightened, that was the upper looper, is now pulling. It's too strong. It's just pulling it over the edge. Is there anything wrong with that seam? No, but it is not perfectly balanced where those two loopers lean against and just hug, kiss that edge right along the fabric. So what I can do is, well, obviously we changed it. That's something that we're going to go ahead and fix. Now, if you find yourself increasing tensions or decreasing tensions and nothing changes here, something over in the threading, maybe it's not in the tension all the way, so obviously the tension changing is not affecting it, or something is not threaded correctly. Peek through if you don't see it and you can't get it fixed. It's taking scissors, clipping all these threads and rethreading the serger. I guarantee that fixes it so many times. I've been frustrated in class with a whole room of students, and at the very end I just clip it, rethread, and it fixes it. I don't know what it fixes, but whatever the problem was, there's no more problem. So don't be afraid to do that. That's why you really want to get comfortable with threading your serger. It really can make it a lot easier than trying to change something and not know what you're changing. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take that back. Another thing I want to do just to show you is, okay, so I'm going to just go out and back. So we're at the stitch number 3, 4 thread overlock. And let's do something here. I'm going to show you what happens if your thread, and we kind of saw it earlier with the needle threads being really loose. So I'm going to just loosen one of the needle threads. We're going to just run a quick little stitch. And what happens is we don't have that line on the back. It's probably one of the most common things. So once again, because my needle thread was too loose, I've got those loops, no straight line like I was seeing before to make that seam. See the difference? Okay, so once we open that up, that's probably what people run into the most. Usually it's not that they need to increase the tension. They need to look inside here and just make sure the thread is actually in the tension. You can get it to the side of these discs. I've seen it happen. So just make sure that's actually kind of in between where the discs are kind of pushing together and not kind of over here on the wrong side, because, well, then they're not getting any tension. So once again, thread with your presser foot up. That means those discs are open, really easy to get it in. Make it easy to kind of floss it in, lower it, and you can almost feel, is that thread tight? You can kind of pull on it a little bit. If it's tight, you know you got it in there right. So this would be, if I have some of these issues, everything's correct, you can go ahead and tighten up the needle tension. We'll just put it back to where normal was, which was somewhere. Oh, there it was, 2.9. And then that will make that nice and even. Same thing for some other loops. But truly, before you start messing with tension, double check that the machine is threaded correctly. You don't have anything like looped around, doubled over, or missed, because that will make a difference in how the stitch comes out.